This is my good friend SBVille, and in the next month, we're gonna try to make him become a Trackmania pro. Ville is already one of the world's best players in the game Shootmania, and Ville believes that there's no such thing as talent or being gifted, but instead that if you apply yourself and do rigorous practice, you can master any skill. And now he wants to prove it in Trackmania. My goal is to help him and teach Ville everything that I know about Trackmania, and give him some goals to work on. If you yourself are new to Trackmania, then I suggest you follow along, as this is a great learning opportunity, and perhaps you'll notice some things you can improve on as well. But with that, enjoy the video.
Hello?
Hello! We're starting now, and for the next 30 days, it's gonna be full Trackmania, try to go pro.
You know what? Yesterday I was like, I showed my first moment of weakness when I was laying in the bed trying to sleep. I was really nervous because I kind of asked myself, can I really do this? Like, what if I fail? But I think that's why we're here, because a lot of people, I think, before they embark on the journey to kind of grind something, to get good at something, they ask themselves that question. They ask like, well, what if it goes wrong? What if I disappoint people? What if it just doesn't work out? But like the only way to know if it's gonna work out is to just go for it.
Yeah, healthy mindset to go into it, I think. To just try and see what happens. And this week, we're only gonna focus on dirt tracks. We're gonna start with dirt, and then we're gonna have like a tech week, full speed week, and a mixed week at the end and see.
Yep.
So yeah, let's maybe talk about the COTD map. Where do you place in Capo del Rey today?
Yeah, like in my PB right now is 48.92.
Okay.
So it's about 2 seconds behind the world record. I think in the actual like KO phase, I was doing some 49 to 50 sort of times. I was somewhat consistent, but...
All right, well, I think we should just start with like, you could screen share and then we could just take a look at like how you approach the map. What's your intuition about the map? Like what lines you drive?
Oh, sure. Do you want me to just play?
Yeah, just drive a roll. Let's see.
All right. Let's see. I did actually watch a little bit of your approach to the map.
Okay, yeah.
And I did learn some things, like this start, I was not doing the best way possible. I was often like drifting through those quarter pipes.
Yeah, that's, yeah, I had the same issue like in the start, just hard to keep the grip.
In the KO
yeah, I mean, this is for like your division, this is fine. This is really fine. In Cup of the Day, when you play the matches, it's always the best approach to just not crash. If you don't crash, you're gonna go further than if you try to be risky and fancy, you know? Looking at this run though, if we're just watching the replay, one of the things is like this next long left turn, for example. A lot on dirt is just steering as little as possible. So here you want to use all the space. So yeah, I'm not sure if you felt that, but there's a lot more space on the track that like you can use. And the more space you use and the less you turn, the more speed you get. You're driving good lines, like okay lines, but there's a lot more room everywhere to sort of turn less. You're coming out from the cave and you want to do this combo of turns on dirt. Since the car is always sliding, the best approach for things like this, you want to start wide. You want to start all the way out here. This is sort of where you start the turn. And when you approach a turn like this, you want to steer in, hit the apex right around here, then go like out a little bit wide, and then go back into the apex. And now the most important thing is that you also try to end up as far out as possible, because there's a slope right here. So if you end up very on the inside, you can jump, and you had a little bit of airtime in some of the runs. Now what's great about this line is you're already at the next corner. The next corner is here. So you can just gently curve around these two corners and then go a little bit wide through the checkpoint, because if you go to inside here, then you're not going to have a smooth line through this. What players did is they went a little bit wide and then in, and then just gently around. So kind of wide here. And what's very important with this part, which I noticed myself very late. Let's say you take a line and you end up like a little bit too far to the left. Like you have to dodge the sheep with this. The only way to do this like good now is to angle the car in the air for this next part. But what you want to do here is angle the car as little as possible in the air. You want to land almost straight for this part. If we look at this, like what I was doing and what you were doing a little bit is we're coming up here. We're angling the car here, so we turn left in the air and we land a little bit angled. Like what you probably want to do is end up a little bit more here and turn a little bit less, and then use more space, because there is more space here, and space on dirt means more speed. So you want to go out here and hit the transition here, whereas blue would angle like this way and then go more inside and hit it here. This small difference in speed that yellow has for the next turn is massive. So yellow can push really close down to the corner and then ease up to the exit point again. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it absolutely does.
I think these things make sense, but it's when you're driving, it's hard to think about the things.
Yeah, I think like mentally, if I kind of go back to what I was thinking when I was playing this map, it was mostly like, okay, here's this turn, let's do this turn, and then, okay, here's the next turn. Whereas I should be thinking like, okay, here's this sequence.
Yeah, it's consciously about like placing your car in certain positions, like setting your car up.
I think that kind of intuition is kind of what I was lacking. It was mostly just like doing one part at a time, but not really seeing like the bigger goal on the map.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what do I need to achieve?
I can think about it like in chess, like the best players think like 5 moves ahead. Like this is the kind of thing that you're thinking about.
I notice in Trackmania a lot that the shortest way is not always the best way. There's often like you need to think about the bigger picture more often. I think that goes for a lot of games. Like, you know, something that's like short-term beneficial is not always like long-term beneficial.
Yeah. So that's very true. Like you can full speed exit, full speed enter into a corner, but if you have to release late, then releasing earlier is better, always. And then for the ending, this is just also about thinking a little bit ahead. If you think that you want to steer as little as possible, when you go out of the wall right here, there's an upcoming right turn, right? Next turn is to the right. So you want to just position yourself gently to the left, so that already from here, you have a smoother sort of curve around this next turn. If you're more on the right, this is going to be very abrupt, very sudden, very like, whew, that's going to lose a lot of speed. And yeah, just really try to do as smooth of an ending as possible. There's not really too much to that one. You have a 48.9 right now. I think we can push this to like a 48.3 at least, and maybe even lower with just these small changes.
Sure thing.
Can you stop coaching him? He will beat my PB soon and I'll derank in Finland.
Oh, be ready, it's gonna happen. So go wide.
Yeah, middle, and then try to end up wide, and then gently, just gently make a smooth line through this. Now angle just a little bit left, tiny bit.
Oh, that was probably a little bit too much.
And now just gently let the turn carry you. Right, full right.
Oh, I think I...
Yeah. Nice.
So go here.
End up wide, gently to the right, gently. Just smooth taps now.
That was a little bit...
Yeah, you can respawn. Try to go like a little bit more in the entry and then smoother exit.
So should I try to do wider, like in this position? Should I try to go
now
a little
you're
bit
already
wider,
sort of
or?
inside, so now you kind of have to stick to it. But ideally, you will end up a little bit wider in the entry.
Okay, yeah.
But here it's best to steer sharply in the entry and then sort of smoothen as you go out of the turn, you know? So try to end up... Yeah, this is nice. And now push in. And then smoothen out. Gently left. Yes. Use the space. Gently in left now. Respawn here.
Yep. Oh,
so here, when you enter this, you can do a small right tap as you go down. So try this. Just when you're at the ledge, right, left. You should be able to keep the grip here. If you do right and then left.
Okay.
What's important? Yeah, this. Did you see that?
Okay.
The speed?
Yep.
So try to do this now and also get around the tree. And just gently, around the tree, full, yeah, and now gently, left, full. Oh, we're a little bit inside, but it's fine. It's fine, it's a good attempt. And if you look at your ghost, you see how much more speed you have? Just like, comparatively, like it's a bit hard to save this one, but you're crushing your ghost there with speed for the end. So now, a bit out to the left, and then you might have to full steer here to make it. Close.
Yeah.
Now you should also have a better end line. So that's what we're going for. This is what we're going for. I think this is like recipe for a low 48. So let's just try.
All right. Now the challenge is to get everything on the same run.
Yeah, it's very challenging. Can I ask you this? Do you drive IRL, Villa?
Yeah.
So are you when you're driving? Where do you look like in the game? Where are your eyes placed? Are you looking down at the car or sort of like on the road ahead?
I mean, on the road ahead, of course.
Yeah, sort of what I like to do is I like to sort of target my next thing I have to do with my eyes. So like right now I'm looking at the right corner there, and then I'm looking at the left corner, and now I'm thinking about the turn, like this kind of thinking. So but it usually works if you also look ahead of your car, because one mistake people make is they just stare at their car when they play, and they sort of miss like what's up ahead. They miss planning their driving. Is there anything that you think specifically is like one of your main driving weaknesses?
I think I'm absolutely trashed here in ice and probably grass as well.
Yeah.
Because, you know, those are some that I didn't really experience when I was playing as a kid. So, you know, I probably don't have any, like, even like muscle memory for those.
Yeah.
Let alone like game knowledge. So
yeah, ice is tricky. I'm no champion myself. Virtual teaching how to virtual. Come on, guys. My chat is trolling. No, but it must be nice to see, like, because you are just crushing that ghost right now with these things in mind.
It's true, yeah.
Like, he comes back here, but he doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
Right tap right now. Nice. Set it up gently. Oh, that's really nice. Gently to the right. Don't steer too much. Yes, nice. Go, go, go. Bit right, bit right. Ooh, we have a PB!
No.
Hey! Small improvement, 12,000.
Yeah. Maybe I beat that one guy in Finland, yeah?
Yeah, it could be, nice. But let's try. Let's try to go, like, maybe one more improvement.
Yep, sure. A little bit early.
Yeah, so did you see what happened there? Did you, like, the gear? Do you feel the gear down happen there?
No, not really. I don't think about the gears at all, actually.
Okay, that's fair.
That's like one thing that I...
So that's something...
I probably need to get
like,
into.
we're gonna do dirt this week. We can talk about a lot of gears. We don't need to talk about it here. But just like in short, when you're entering the dirt, you're approaching 340 speed. And then the car shifts gear. When that happens, you cannot be steering because it will make the gear change take longer.
Right, yeah.
And when you're gearing up, you're not accelerating. So that's why that is bad.
Yep, gotcha.
So if you see the car approaching 340, in that scenario right there, it's best to just wait for the gear up to happen and then continue steering. And usually you just do it fine. So when you enter the dirt, just try to not steer for a little second. Nice.
But that does cost my approach now.
Yeah, so now you have to set up a little bit earlier with that in mind.
Yeah, now I'm kind of looking at my car because I'm looking at my speed, and then I'm remembering.
Don't think about it too much.
Wait,
really, it's just a small thing. But yeah, gently left, gently. Right, gently. Air brake, tap the brake in the air. Nice, good save, good save. Hey, okay, 48.6. We climbed 200 spots, nice. That was already really good. I mean, the things that we're missing here now are like small things, but we can talk about them.
It's a good, like, I don't know, half an hour improvement.
Oh, this is really great. Yeah. And like you have the knowledge about the map and sort of like the understanding that you need to set like a 48.0 if you grind. But we could set like we could set a target time for this if you want to and try to get like a 48.1, 48.0. Maybe even break 48, that's up to you, but around there. I think after 1 month, I think you're gonna be at least Division 3, maybe Division 2. I think so. Okay. Sorry, it's 64, right? The Division 3 or 4, I think is like realistic. Yeah. Because you're applying a lot of like just good principles to it, which will get you really far. But yeah, I think we should maybe just go on some dirt tracks. We can go on a server, play some dirt tracks, and then we can try to figure them out together. So I'll tell you what it does. Basically, it goes down for the downhill because that's a little bit of speed. And Ryuno's goal here is to do a trick called the no slide. Golden rule of dirt is that when you're under 235, sliding the car is slower. Usually you want to slide to gain speed, that's faster, but only in the gear over 235. So what's he gonna do? Well, he wants to avoid sliding. So he sets up here for a trick called no slide, where right now his car is not sliding. And he does this by steering at 20% strength or so through the entire turn. And this just builds up speed. And he holds it through the entire turn, building up a lot of speed. And now he's sliding on purpose in the end. Now he's intentionally angling the car just a little bit each way, always sliding because it builds up speed. This trick is not possible on keyboard, so we can't do this. But if you want to get a good time on keyboard, so what you want to do, I'm playing windowed, so maybe it's a bit laggy. But you do the turn, and then you do the turn here, and you release. You do a small release tap mid-turn. Do you have any ideas why you want to release?
Well, probably to keep your speed under the 245, 35?
Yeah. You don't want to hit the next gear when you're steering. So you release here so that the 235 happens after the turn. I did it a bit poorly here, but if you do this correctly, gear is going to happen after you're done turning. So I think it's released right around here, yeah. So now I got the gear afterwards, and this just builds up more speed. And then I again try to just gently angle the car. I don't think about the gears anymore. I just feel them. Like I can hear the car wants to gear up, and then I stop steering. That's basically just like a process that's gonna develop for you, I think. Oh, this is, I mean, this is beautiful. These are these are the maps you need. I gotta see how to try this map myself now, just to give you the best advice. Seems pretty self-explanatory. Let me see what I'm doing different. Curious actually what the absolute god line is. What? Oh, really? Oh, he no slides. Come on.
Oh.
There's a double no slide on this.
Oh no.
Not that we have to do it, but that's apparently the god line. So I'm gonna spectate you now. Let's just see what you're thinking.
So I noticed that there's a gear at like 160.
Yeah.
Ish. So I'm waiting for that before I turn.
Yeah.
And then like this middle part, like, you know, when you have the checkpoint in the middle, I guess I need to kind of try to line up for the next turn already.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure like what my approach should be exactly.
So this track is a bit weird because the finish line is so close after the second turn. Like if you think about it in a way, if like the finish line had been further away, then you'd want to take a line that builds more speed. But because the finish line is so close, you kind of just want to go all the way inside, just push like this is a little bit too inside, but just like push inside and then gently exit it, kind of. So one thing you're gonna notice if you do this properly is you need to be very quick to turn left when you're at the checkpoint, because right there the car is trying to gear up and you have to avoid it. So if you get good speed on the first turn by steering a lot to the right, you have to be quick with the left to avoid the next gear. Like here you lost a little bit too much, now you're fine, but that can happen.
I think if I would approach this map like yesterday, I would just try to like kind of try to keep as much speed, just to go as close to the corners as possible. But I feel like I've already reached like a 300 IQ with all the gear.
Yeah. And this principle that I tell you about, like if you have a dirt turn, always steer, usually steer a lot early so you can build speed for the exit. That's sort of like a golden principle. Exit speed on dirt is very important. Someone in chat wrote 220 hours on this Trackmania and he's faster than me. But this is the great thing. I think everyone's going to learn from this. If you're joining the learning project, it's not just Ville who's going to learn. Like you guys are going to hopefully learn from this too. Oh, looks like we... no, this is another track. So it's
right,
almost the same, but a different variation. Let's see what this is.
Okay, this turn is tighter, yeah.
Oh, end turn was tighter than I thought. Yeah, so now you have to think about like what's changed. What should I do now with this combo instead?
So my intuition would tell me to go pretty wide on the first turn and then try to turn pretty early.
Yeah.
You have quite a bit of space before the checkpoint to line up towards the right side, so I guess I try to keep as much speed there as possible. It looks to me like I need to hit the 160 gear twice. Once in the very beginning, before the first turn, and then after the checkpoint the second time.
Yeah, you should keep that through the entire turn there.
Oof, okay.
So yeah, that's a tricky part here. Oh, this is nice, yeah. You hit the bump a little bit, but apart from that, it was good.
I do drop below 160, like before the checkpoint though, but I guess that's not necessarily a problem, or is it? If you gently steer, you can still go under the speed, but still have the correct RPM to stay in the gear. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So here you're steering a little bit too tight. All right. So like part of it is figuring out yourself, but I think if you see this one, you're gonna understand it too. Like it's just... We're just trying to build that up, like that understanding, right? So the way I would approach this is, of course, go out left. That's correct. And then here, I would try to use all the space to go... Oh, well, I hit. So I try to go all the way up here. And then just stay on the inside and do a smooth line here. Yeah, okay. You're keeping so much more speed. Like, I'm looking at your speed when you get to the checkpoint, and it's at like 170, 180 even. But that's because I'm using the space up here on the left. Like, that's what you're missing. Yeah, it's kind of funny how this map has like two seemingly identical parts, right? But they are so different when you're actually optimizing them. Like, this map and the other one was one left turn and right turn, but you drive them very differently to get a good time. Stay left. Oh, good. Gently. Gently out, all the way out. Nice. What? Oh, it's a tie. But that's also something there, like in the end, you might think you want to go like steer a lot to get to the finish line quicker. Best you can do is just go all the way out to the side. Like just let the car slide out to the side. This one is again really interesting because it's like compromised of the same blocks, right? There's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
nothing.
Same turns,
really
but you
new
have to
there.
think about different things here. So again, we have the gears in the start that you want to avoid.
Yep.
That's good. Here, the principle of like steering early to go faster later applies a lot. So after this first checkpoint in this turn combo, it's very beneficial to steer a lot to the left so you can go smoothly to the right and build up a lot of speed there.
Yeah, okay.
So you're sort of just taking a time loss by steering hard to the right, left here, so you can go close right around this entire turn. So you can go even more inside and then go out and then go in for the uphill. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, clean. Nice.
I think I'm actually learning.
You are. You definitely are. I could quickly screen share this for you if you want to see. I could just draw it up.
Sure.
What I think about is like, let's just start from here. Like the start is fine. You go out here, you know? We talked about going tight around this so you can push this. It's like you want to steer a lot here so you can afford to go really close around this turn. But then the last turn, right? So you're going to end up somewhere here, I think, for the last turn. If we just look at the turn, if you go inside here, you have no angle for this turn. So you just want to think about driving curved. So like, I'm following the turn, but now I have to go out to this area so I can go in here again. You can approach from the inside, that's good, because you don't need to be out here to get to this point.
I think I kind of have the idea, but I have trouble like executing it.
It's better to do the correct thing wrong than to do the wrong thing correctly. What? Way too dang.
No, you just need to put like Shakespeare at the end of it and it's gonna be like a super deep quote.
What a coach. What a coach.
Absolutely.
Let's do like one or two more of these and then let's set some goals for the week, I think.
Yeah, like my first thought is immediately the turn after the checkpoint. I wouldn't intuitively have like a good way to do it.
What I can tell you is no sliding is being done here. And if you want to try it, it's actually possible on keyboard for this turn.
Okay.
For this first turn, if you're just driving, you would probably go like pretty inside because it's such a long turn. So you have space to go inside. You could just go here. But if you start really wide, you go out here and then you tap a little bit, wait for 160, and then you super tap, like very fast small taps. You can stay in that no sliding state for longer than what you usually do.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what you're aiming for here, is to start out really wide, try to keep your car not sliding for as long as possible, and you can see that this speed really builds. And then there's a gear you have to wait for, and then last turn, and you finish. Wait, you got a 1272. That's really fast.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm improving.
Now I have to see how to do the world record to tell you if I'm actually even teaching the correct thing here. I'm teaching wrong things.
Oh, okay.
Slightly wrong things. The world record actually, it does the no slide, but it does it very strangely. The best line here is actually to go really out wide and just do this no slide for as long as possible. Build up a lot of speed and use this downhill and then attack the corner. You want to get that hill on the side. That's sort of what I was mostly missing.
Yeah, okay. I guess the finish position again kind of makes
it dictates your last line. It does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If the finish was further away, then you'd want to go more to the right. I hope I'm making sense on this. I feel like I'm.
For me, absolutely.
If you don't understand something, just like actually let me know.
Yeah, it's also interesting. Like different people learning different ways, and you know sometimes the wording for someone might not make sense, but for someone it's like perfect.
That's probably the hardest thing about being a teacher. It's not like telling kids that 3 + 4 = 7, but it's sort of like explaining it so that every kid knows it. That's nice, dude. 67. That's almost my time here. A lot of players here though who are learning. Good job, boys. Everyone really.
Yeah, I think this can help a lot of people kind of approach the game in like a new sort of way.
I could teach ice. Do you want to learn ice at some point, Villa?
Oh, sure.
Because I'm not great at ice, but I know roughly how it works. Roughly. Yeah. Not everything. I'm not the best ice coach, but... So at first, my intuition here was to go all the way out and then build up speed like this. Because I want to hit that gear.
Yeah.
Because here the car gears up before the road and then I do, you know, curve last turn. What you can do here and still hit the gear is go more inside. So just tap a lot here and then approach this and try to very gently get through this. And the car will still gear up right before you drop down there. And I think after this one, we can probably like set down some goals and stuff. Yeah, chill. Oh.
Hey! 1,000.
1,000.
I'll take it.
Yep. I see you no slide tapping without me even telling you, I think, in the beginning. It's just something you did now. Things like this, you're really picking up.
Like, you know, when you start playing Trackmania, your goal is like, okay, I will go fast. I will reach the goal as fast as possible. But now I feel like I have like different side quests. You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
side
okay,
quests,
I need
yeah,
to
that's
do
a good
this
word.
part well. I need to do that part well, and then that will result in a good run.
We're gonna talk again in about a week and do another session. Probably just checking up on what we learned in Dirt and then applying some of the same things. 4, 9, and 11, I think, are going to be the ones we're going to practice.
4, 9, and 11. Okay.
So yeah, let me give you some time targets, though, for the maps. So we can start with map 11. I think like 30... I think 33.5 is within reach here. 33.5. I am setting the bar high here, just so you know. This is going to be a pain to get. But I think with the knowledge that you have, you should be able to do it. All right. Map 9. I think 37.7. We're giving him homework. You can do this homework as well if you want to learn Dirt. And map 4, 32.5. 32.5. These are going to be hard. I think, you know, in some way, it's kind of, you can skip a few steps. Like, you can't just go all in immediately. You don't have to walk every step of improvement. I think you can reach these in a week.
And I think, you know, there's also something like, if I don't reach them, then we can talk about why I didn't reach them. Like, maybe there's something wrong in the way I do runs.
It's kind of like, you aim for the moon, and if you miss, you land among the stars. That's a quote. I hope you learned something, Bill. I hope the people watching learned something from this first coaching session. And we'll talk again next week for like drifting and tech and stuff, and also just to see how the Dirt homework went. Guys, go check out Villa on his stream if you want to see him now. Practice these maps the next week. Go give him a follow. This is the 1 month to pro project that we're doing.
Very ambitious project, but I'm ready for it. I'm ready to grind.
Let's go. Let's do it. Thank you so much, Villa. I'll talk to you throughout the week and also next week on stream. And we'll see how it goes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.